same, because I'm just going to sort of show you that you don't need to. You don't need to do stuff like that a lot of the time, especially not at this point. There's no reason to. Let's see what price does. So it is dropping. If I had entered a trade at this level, price has dropped. I could now close all three. Okay, I would now be able to do that. As it is, price is looking like it's going to drop anyway. We're back beneath this level. Oh no, here we go. Are we going to trigger in? So you see, even then I thought it was going to drop and it's popped up. The price is very, very random in the short term. Okay, so price is very random in the short term. However, my bias hasn't changed. It's currently 10 o'clock at night. This is the point when the market is about to close. I would be going to bed now. We currently have a floating profit of nearly 5%. Okay, so this is day trading. Close all. I go to bed. That's it. End of the market. I now need to wait till 7 a.m. So I'm just going to forward. This is the Asian session. I'm not interested in this. If you are awake during the Asian session, you probably are interested in this. However, you can see the Dow Jones is probably not the instrument for you because look at it. It's just totally sideways. The market is literally asleep. So are we nearly at 7? Let me draw on my 7 a.m. line. There we go. So that is the point I'm going to start trading. And then this is the point when we need to assess the market. So what's happened? We're below this level. I can see that we're pretty close to the 50 and look at the bounce from it. Now that was the New York Open yesterday, remember, the 230 Open. I think price could well fall down a little bit and then kick back up, or it could come up to this level. So here's the plan. If price reaches this level, I'm going to sell. If it reaches this level, I'm definitely going to sell. If it falls to this level, I'm probably not going to sell, okay? Because I reckon it's going to bounce. I could take a cheeky buy. I'm trying to be responsible in this video and not encourage you to trade against your bias. So we're just going to wait. We're going to wait and see what happens in London. So London is now open. It has reached this level. Remember, I do think it's going to bounce from here and probably come back up. If we get a break and retest of it, I will enter a sell. So if it breaks below retests, I might enter a sell. Okay, again, that level's holding. And it broke. And that's not quite a retest. It's gone back through. It's nearly touched the 50. I think price is going to push up to this level. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to put a sell limit. Oops. There with a TP of 50. Nice and easy. That's what I think. That's what I think this is going to play out. Oh, you're kidding me. I love it when it misses my entry by like a point. Okay, still pushing up, still pushing up. Right, we're in a sell. Beautiful. Just have a look to the left. Could easily still make it to the 39. What I will do is I'll put on a pending order. Notice I'm not putting tons of pending orders on. I typically have just 1 or 2 pending orders set, and then I sort of watch and see what happens, okay? Because you don't want to get caught by a spike that triggers in loads and loads of orders. Is price going to drop to my TP? Looking good. Boom. There we go. Right then. Let's zoom out a bit. This looks promising for a drop. I think we're going to make it. I do think we're going to make it. That's the news event that I've marked. So currently, what is the time? I think it's about 12 o'clock. So we've got to be aware of the US as well. So 15:30, which I think is there, something like that. I'm just going to mark on the US Open as well. So 15:30 there. This is when the US is going to open. This is a news event. Let's just see. Let's see if we can get there before then. The US will probably be the thing that actually pushes it down here. That's what you tend to find. This level, because it's the 250 round number, if you sell down to it, you don't want to try and sell through it straight away. When it gets down here, you want to stop because you'll likely get a huge push back up. Now, you can trade that. Even though your bias is bearish, you could sell down to it and then expect a bounce, and you can take a buy. That's a valid buy because these 250 levels are very strong. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put another sell trade on straight away because I think even if price pushes back up to here, it's just dropped from that level, so it's very likely to just fall from it. So I'm going to do an instant sell, 50 pip TP. Let me just adjust that. There we go. And then I'm also going to put on a pending sell just in case it does pop up because I think it's going to drop from this level. Right, beautiful. Let's see what happens. Boom, TP hit again. Now let's have a look. We're at this low and we're at the 50%. If it was ever going to bounce from anywhere, it's probably here. So I would prefer to wait for a bounce and then get in again. Let's see if that's what happens. In fact, let me just get rid of that other pending order. We'll get rid of both of these, remove. And then what I'll do is I will set a new pending order on a sell limit. And we want to stick it here because I reckon price will probably 50 pip TP. I reckon price will probably pop up, hit that, and then fall. I've been wrong before, who knows? Okay, oh no, we've actually had a break and retest. Look at that. That was, you see that on the US Open then? Let me delete this line. There you go. Boom. Look at that. So now the dynamic has changed. I think we're probably going to push straight to the TP now. So what I'm going to do is let me actually get rid of this. We will remove that. I'm going to put a sell trade on now and aim to get down here. So I'm going to go trading, instant order, sell, and let me just do a TP. Where have I gone? Wrong tab. Just modify this, stick a TP on, put it to 50. Terrible for putting these on. And then I'm just going to drag this sort of just before. What you tend to find, remember how price interacts with levels? Sometimes it'll bounce before it, sometimes it'll bounce after it. If you put it right on the level, there'll be loads of times when it's missed by like a couple of points. It's really annoying. So let's see if this momentum can continue with the US Open and actually trigger our TP. Now at the same time, I'm actually going to be really cheeky. I'm going to stick a pending buy on just because I actually think it will bounce. So I'll do a pending buy. What should we do for a TP? Let's just do 50 for now and see if we actually get it. Because if not, I'm gonna have to manage it, and I'm gonna stick that on at the same price as the TP. Okay. So I now have, check my pending orders. I have a buy limit and I have a sell, a live market sell. Let's see what happens. Pushes down, right back up to the entry. Okay, we've just by the look of it, that's not quite hit the sell. It's not triggered in the buy either, annoyingly. That's really, really close. So what I need to decide now is whether or not I want to close, okay? This will happen. It is frustrating. Price is kind of wicked the TP, but because of the spread, okay, you can see the spread's only 2 at the moment. That must have been so close to actually closing that. Is decide whether or not you think price is going to get there. I think there's a very good chance price is going to shoot up. Just looking at it, because this has got big wicks on both ends. It's an indecision candle. Let me just change this back to an arrow. What I'm going to do then is, if you look, the open sell is in profit. Okay, so it's a profit of 3%. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close that. Okay, so we're now up 28.5%. The buy, annoyingly, I think I've just cancelled that. The buy has not been triggered, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set the buy trade again. Let's just do pending order. I'll do a buy limit with TP of 50. Let's try this again, and I'll set it just on the end of that candle. Okay, so let's see if we can get there. I'm not obviously going to take any more sells unless price pops up. So really we want to trigger in the buy, get a reaction, and then if this sort of 50 level or maybe this level here holds, I'll sell back down again. But we've got a news event coming up, so I'm just conscious of that. Okay, so let's sort of see what happens. Okay, so we may have missed the bounce. Okay, that's a bit annoying. We have missed the bounce. So I'm going to cancel that buy. And what I'm going to do is what I just said. So look, you can see the 50 appears to be holding. It's wicked. So this is now another selling opportunity. What I'm going to do then is go pending order. And this time I'm going to do a sell stop. And because it's got a little bit of, well, I say a little bit, it's got momentum. I want price to actually show me that it's reversing. So I'm going to look to get in there. I'm going to do a TP of 50. So price now has to turn around to actually trigger me in this trade. So, oh, look at that. Nearly in one candle. That's unbelievable. Let's close that because that is close enough. So I'll close that. And then do I want to actually take another trade? What I'm going to do is let me turn the trades off on the chart because it's a bit annoying. Look at this huge engulfing. I would say we want to sell straight away and again aim for this. So let's go trading, instant order. So within this test, there's been plenty of times when I've been right and plenty of times when I've been wrong, but you can see ultimately we're just making money most of the time. I'm going to leave that TP where it is just because we're getting in a little bit early and it's slightly before the level and it didn't quite make it on the last one. So let's just see if we get there. Okay, let me put on another pending. So we want a sell limit. And you see how like this is a really stress-free way of trading, because it's just, you just sort of let the market go where it wants to go and you just deal with whatever happens, okay? So that didn't trigger us in. And getting very close, very, very close, getting close to the news event as well. And there you go, we're out again, pending orders. Let me just close this. So we're currently up, what's that, nearly 38%. And we've got this news event pending. Now we might get another bounce from here. However, let's just have a look at the current time. So yeah, end of the trading day in London. Potentially, I mean, we've made it across our zone. That was our goal. If I just clear this off now, if I can actually find it. If I just clear this off, our goal was to get from one side when we started trading up here. Let me put the trade history back on and you'll be able to see everything that we've done. Trading. So these are all the trades we've taken. Okay, so all we tried to do is get from point A to point B, and we've achieved it. It took 2 days. We used the 1 hour chart, got the bias, and then literally just kept selling. So we were waiting patiently for the market to pop up, to sell down, or to break a level and sort of show us. And really, we never got into any massive trouble. We've avoided the market opens, we've avoided the news events, and we've made our target. And the account it actually says 1 trading day because the current trading day hasn't finished, but we've had a 100% win rate, 9 trades, and 37, nearly 38% of growth. Okay, so you can see this strategy has massive potential, okay? And this is all it is. So if you've had a good day like this, you've crossed your zone and you've won all your trades, and now you've got a news event that's potentially going to push the market, then stop trading, just wait for the next day. So then you literally would just forward. Wow, that's the worst news event I've ever seen. It literally did nothing. You would just forward all the way till 7 AM or whatever time you wake up the next day, and you just start the whole process again. So this is a demonstration on US 30. What I'm going to do is I'll also do one now on Forex.